Okay, we're going to talk for a few minutes about effective sampling. And we have got this really handy dandy little sampling flow chart for you so that you can really just see the flow. So if you're not a chart person, that's okay. We have other videos, other trainings on just what the conversation sounds like, but I'm going to actually use this flow chart to walk you through the conversation and to walk you through the touch points, because there's multiple touch points with sampling. And that really is what makes it effective. So let's look over here on the far left-hand side of the screen. I'm going to try to see if I can't zoom in here just a little bit more for you. Okay, so we're going to zoom in just a tad here. I know the text is kind of tiny, but I'm not going to read every word on here. You can download this straight on the Elevate website and grab it for yourself. But really, in a nutshell, what I want you to know is that effective sampling comes down to giving your prospect a positive experience. It doesn't work if they don't have a positive experience. Sometimes we give one sample and we forget to follow up. That's not effective sampling. Sometimes we give a sample and we follow up and they've not had a great experience. And so we get scared and we feel like, oh no, they're going to toss oils as we know it and they're going to walk away from it. But a lot of times it's because we're not diligent enough to stay in the game with them long enough to help them have a positive experience by sampling them again. So that's what I want to show you with this flow chart. So here is a very, very simple little way to preface even giving that sample. You might want to practice this. You might want to put it on a 3x5 card. When I was first getting started and I was terrified of speaking, terrified of picking up the phone, terrified of selling. I hated it. I was so scared to kind of be put on the spot in this way. But sampling, I feel like, can really change that for you, because you're not coming in selling something. You're coming in sharing, giving something. And I love that. I love that with doTERRA, we get to give something. And as a result, when it changes that person's life, they have that small experience or that big experience they want to buy on their own. So you might preface the sample with something like this script about trying natural products, how they're natural remedies. Maybe you already know a connection point with that person, that they're interested in natural things. If you've watched some of our other trainings, we talk about forming, asking questions around family, occupation, recreation, and their motivation or the message that you want to deliver, and finding their sign, their strength, interest, goal, or their need. This is a perfect time to use those signs. This is a perfect time to ask them, hey, are there some things that you have tried before for those headaches? I know that you frequently get headaches. What have you tried in the past? And just be quiet and listen. Wow, did that work? Did that not work? What else have you tried? So whenever I'm trying to sample, I will ask multiple questions and just duct tape and listen, because they're going to tell you some really golden things. I might even say, is there anything else that's been going on? I know you've been dealing with headaches. Is there anything else that you've been experiencing lately, health-wise? And I'm asking because I have recently been trying, or I have for the last several years been using essential oils as a natural way to help my headaches. And I thought of you because I know that you are dealing with these. Have you ever tried anything natural? Have you ever tried essential oils for your headaches? And see what they say. If they say no, that's when you can ask them, would you like a sample of it? I would love to bring you a sample, or I would love to mail you a sample. If they say yes, I have tried essential oils, I have tried natural things. Sometimes if it's early in your business maybe, or you've been doing this for a while and maybe you keep getting stuck with, I don't know what to say whenever they say, yeah, I've tried essential oils. Do you kind of shut down? Are you like, oh, okay, well, great talking, do you walk away? Or what do you say? At that point, I typically say, oh, really? That's awesome. What did you try? So I keep the conversation going. They might tell me a specific oil they tried. They might tell me a specific brand. If they just tell me the type of oil, I'll ask them a question. Did it work? And they might say, well, I don't know. It kind of did. I think it did. I'm not sure. And I'll say, well, sometimes we can't tell the difference, maybe because it wasn't the right oil for our body. So we need to try a different oil. Sometimes we can't tell a difference because it's the quality of the oil. Maybe it's the specific brand or the quality of that oil, it wasn't quite as effective. Are you open to trying something else? So I never come caustically attacking somebody's brand. I never really even bring up names or brands. I just say, you know, sometimes it could be for this reason. So I don't come in saying, well, it's because that brand is a horrible quality compared to doTERRA. I never say it that way. So be really, really careful. Just use their yes, I've tried essential oils as an awesome opportunity to find out what they tried. Maybe they tried something and you want to give them a different sample, or maybe they tried a different brand and another angle with that. If they've tried a competitor's brand, I usually say, oh my gosh, that's amazing. How long have you been using it? And they'll tell me, maybe I've been using it for a year or two. And I'll be like, well, do you love it? And they'll say, yeah, I do, but I'm open to trying some other things, or I haven't tried some of doTERRA's blends or some things like that. And I'll say, well, why don't we do this? Tell me what you've been using specifically for headaches, because obviously you're still getting them. And they'll tell me, and I'll say, why don't we do this? This would be so cool to do a little test. Would you do a test for me? I would love to give you some of doTERRA's peppermint or whatever it is that you're sampling them. I would love for you to try it for a few days and tell me if you feel any different. You may and you may not. I found doTERRA to be an incredible quality. I can't speak to the comparison. I haven't been using it as long as you have that other brand, but you have, so you'll know if it's any different. So why don't you try it? And again, that's how confident I am in doTERRA's difference, that I can give them that, and almost every time they have an experience that's totally different from the moment that they smell it. So I don't even have to argue on any points or anything else. I just let the oil do the talking. So that's how I handle, yes, I've tried oils, or no, I haven't, and I would love to try something. So now we're down here at this first step. We invite them to try a sample. Then we deliver that sample. Now, here's a some really key points about sampling. Only sample one need. So whenever I'm having that initial conversation, I might say to them, are there any other health priorities that you have going on? Great. Well, here's what I want to do. I want to start with, they might tell me stomach issues and sleep. I'm going to pick the easiest one. Always pick the easiest one. If they tell me diabetes, weight loss, and sleep, which one of those three am I sampling? I'm going to sample for sleep, because they can tell tonight if it worked. For diabetes and weight loss, I don't think one drop of oil is going to change their weight loss issue overnight. They may not be able to tell that difference. So I'm going to sample for the easiest thing. I'm going to give them one sample, because I want them to see that it works for that one thing. Hey, if it worked for sleep or it worked for my headache, maybe it can help my diabetes or my weight loss issues as well. That's what they're going to subtly be thinking. I'm going to give them a 2-day supply, 15 to 20 drops. That's about it. If you sample your whole sample vial and give them 40 drops, you're basically giving them a 5 milliliter bottle almost of oil. And that's the size of the one that's in the Family Essentials kit. So give them just a 2-day supply, because why? We want them to try it, see that it works, and we want it to run out. We want them to need more. Then you're going to show them how to use it. So right on the spot, once you deliver it, or once you've mailed it. If you've mailed it, you might want to preface with, as soon as you get this package, text me, let me know, and I'll hop on the phone and show you how to use it. Maybe you include handwritten instructions of how to use it. Maybe you have some fancy cute little cards you printed off for how to use it. Whatever you do, whatever your method is, make sure you show them how to use it. I can't tell you, I've even done this myself. I can't believe I've done this. I've done all the hard work of sampling and mailing and have let it slip through the cracks on, I thought, oh shoot, I'll just send this. I don't have time to write something down. I'll call them. They didn't call me. And it was like a couple weeks later, I'm like, oh my gosh, I sent them a sample and I completely forgot to tell them how to use it. So guess what's happening with the sample? It's sitting there unused. They don't know what to do with it. So, and I can speak from experience. I didn't have any experience with oils, and I was not about to use them until somebody told me what to do. So then right here, tell them, hey, here's what you're going to do with it. I want you to try this tonight. Try it for your headaches or try it for your sleep or whatever it is. I'm going to call you in 2 days. So today's Wednesday. Let's talk Friday. Is morning or evening better for you? Or is morning or is afternoon? Or I might say, let's talk Friday. I've got some time during my kids' nap time. Does that work for you? So just find a time that works for you. Set it up right then so that it's not ambiguous. And when you try to call them, you can't get them and it turns into another 2 weeks. Try to get that very specific follow-up time. Now here we are at our 2-day check-in. Okay, whoops. Let's see if we can zoom back out again. Okay. Obviously, you can tell I don't use this very often. Okay, let's just go full screen. Okay, we'll just do this. Okay, so 2-day check-in must be a phone call. And you're gonna just ask them this simple question. Did you have an opportunity to try the sample yet? Simple question. You don't wanna say, how was the sample? Did you have a great experience with your sample? Don't ask that yet. And here's why. And I'll tell you, Elise Shedevy taught me this. And this was something that I was saying on a lot of my sampling phone calls, and I was getting it wrong, which it sounds like the right question. Did you have a great experience with your sample? But if they haven't tried it, they're kind of left to lie to you. It's still sitting in their purse or it's sitting on their bedside. And so what do? They say no. Because if they say yes, they're going to have to tell you about it, and they know that. If they say no, they can shut the conversation down and move on and not feel the shame and the guilt of, oh my gosh, I didn't even try her sample yet. She totally gave that to me and I forgot to try it. So rather than putting them in a situation where they're kind of, I'm forcing them to lie to me potentially, and I'm like, gosh, how did they not have a good experience with that? I don't even understand. So if you're getting that answer, no, I didn't have a great experience, maybe you're asking the wrong question. So let's evaluate that. This is a great question to ask. Did you have an opportunity to try the sample yet? Let's follow this track down here below for no. No, they didn't have a chance to try it. So if they did not have a chance to try it, we're going to redirect. And you're going to say, here's what we're going to do. Not a big deal. You didn't try it yet. Here's what we're going to do. I want you to go grab that out of your purse right now. Where is it? Great. I want you to set it by your bedstand, your nightstand, because maybe it's for sleep. I want you to set it by your nightstand, and I want you to use that tonight. Can you use that tonight? Perfect. Then I'm going to call you in the morning. So if it's for headaches, I might say, do you have a headache right now? How are you feeling right now? And they might like, oh gosh, yeah, I've just had a headache all day. Okay. Here's what I want you to do. Go grab it out of your purse right now, or go grab it off the counter. I'm going to walk you through exactly what to do with it. Great. Take it out of the package, put a drop in your hand. I want you to rub it into your temples. I want you to breathe it in really deeply for 30 seconds. Don't touch your eyes with your hands, something like that. Do it over the phone with them. If you send them some Deep Blue for pain, tell them where to put it. Have them do it with you on the phone right then, or have them set it by their bedside, or tell them to do it later that night. Then say, I'm going to call you in the morning. Great, set up a time. And again, we go through the same process. It must be a phone call. If you call them the next day, did you have a chance to try the sample yet? And they say no, guess what you're going to say? Okay, here's what we're going to do. Now you're going to get a little bit more aggressive. You're going to be like, okay, for real, stop right now. Go get it and let's put the oil on while we're on the phone. And you can be funny about it. You can have fun with them about it, and it just diffuses it and takes any of the shame or the guilt of like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I forgot to try the sample again. Things happen. People get busy. It doesn't mean they don't want it. This is just showing you their life is so, they're just going so hard that for them to make this lifestyle health shift, you're probably really going to have to make it easy and show them how to work it in on a daily basis, because they can't even remember, and their pain, it's there, but it's not strong enough at the moment to get them to stop and go do it. So we just have to help them incorporate it into their daily life and make it easier. All right, they say yes. They say yes, we tried it. So we're right here. We can follow this track, or it's this exact same track up here. So they say yes. They're excited. Move this out of the way. They tried it. So we're going to ask at this point, great, you tried it. How was your experience? Tell me a little bit more about it. You're going to listen to what they tell you. And you're going to, if it was awesome or not awesome, you're going to follow these bullet points right here. Let's just say for a second, it was not an awesome experience. Let's say they had a bad experience, or they couldn't tell a difference at all. If it's something that you gave them enough of and maybe they just didn't try a whole lot of it, just say, you know what, why don't we try it again tonight? Let's try it for the next 2 nights. And I want you to do it at night and in the morning. Sometimes with oils, it's not about doing more in the moment, it's about doing it more frequently. So let's try it in the morning and in the evening. Or maybe we need to try a different oil. We might say, you know what, everybody's body's different. The same way if you go to the doctor and I go to the doctor for depression and he prescribes the exact same medication for both of us, it might work for you, but I come back 2 weeks later and say, doc, it's not working. I don't know what's wrong. instead of me tossing medicine as I know it and being like, medicine doesn't work, this thing's a whole sham, a scam, I'm going to say, the doctor's just going to say, hey, let's just try a different one. Everybody's body's different. Everyone responds differently to every different medication. So here's one for you. Here's one for her. Okay. That's the same with oils. Because oils are plant-based, there is 4 to 5, sometimes 6, 7, and 8 even plants that have a very similar profile to the original one that I gave you. So what I want to do is I want to give you a different one. And if you will be committed to use it and to try it, I will be just as committed to finding a solution for you. And we will go until we find a solution for your headaches, because there are numerous oils that we could try. So I'm going to bring you another one tomorrow. How does that sound? Great. I'm going to drop that one off. I'm going to tell her what to do with it. We're going to go back over here. I'm going to drop that one off. We're going to say, okay, in 2 days, I'm going to call you. I'm going to check back in with you. Does this time work? And we go through the same flow again. You can print this flow chart and literally put it on your wall or put it in the office by your computer, wherever you make your follow-up phone calls. Stick it there so you can see exactly what you need to say. So then we follow up again, and now they've had an awesome experience. So they've tried a second oil, let's say, or maybe they said awesome on the first one, and they've had a great experience. Now we come over here to the invite. We are going to invite them to our class. And the invite is, you can make it whatever you want. We've got several invite scripts for you in the Elevate website, but it could be something like, man, you think that's awesome. Just wait till you try more oils for all the different things that you're experiencing. I know when we talked the other day, you mentioned that you were also dealing with, in addition to headaches, you had some weight loss things, some goals that you had. You were also really struggling with blood sugar, with diabetes. I just want you to know that there are solutions for you. And I'm actually hosting a class, a basic natural solutions class, where we're going to walk through really the top 10 oils. I'm going to show you how to use them and how you can really build a natural medicine cabinet for yourself, and how you can apply these to just little things and big things, just like you just did for the peppermint for your head. I would love for you to come. How does Thursday at 6:30 sound? And then they're going to say yes, or they're going to say that they're busy. And that's why if you have multiple classes on the books, you're like, not a big deal. You can't come Thursday. I have another class on Saturday morning. Does that one work better for you? And I'm just going to go until I get them to commit to a class time. I can't tell you how many times I haven't had a class on the books, but I'm like, I have a class on the books, because now I do. It is at Friday morning, actually. Do you want to come? And then once I get one yes, then I start going to town and inviting others and get more people to come to that class. So then we're going to follow this little process over here on the side of this flow chart, where you're going to call them 2 days before the class and be like, hey, I just wanted to touch base with you and let you know I'm so excited to see you on Thursday night. I know that, just how powerful oils have been in my own journey, my own life. I'm so excited that it worked for you with your headaches. And I just can't wait to see what it's going to do for you for some of these other things that you've been dealing with and what some of your other goals are. So I can't wait. I'll see you then. And then 2 hours before the event, I'm going to text them and I'm going to say, hey, can't wait to see you tonight. I've got a surprise for you. What's the surprise? The surprise that we're going to give them is peppermint brownies. We're going to show them how they can actually cook with their oils. And it's so fun. I make a big plate of peppermint brownies. I reserve them for the end of my class. And after I have done the whole class and everybody's getting set up with their kits, they're looking at their essential life books, we're taking our 15 to 20 minutes to get everybody set up. I come out of the kitchen and say, all right, I told you I had a surprise. Here's your surprise, peppermint brownies. And everybody always gets so excited and they stick around a little bit longer. And then after that, we go right into our business basic overview, and we take about 10 minutes for anybody that wants to stick around. And we use the build guide to walk through the business opportunity. And that is the flow. From one sample, from that first conversation, inviting them to try a sample, to the very end after you've had a class and you're doing a basic business overview. That's it. You can do this over and over and over. And my recommendation for you is, anytime you're wanting to just inject some energy, infuse some new life into your business, my recommendation is that you go sample 50 people. We have done sampling blitz, And I cannot tell you, we just do these random sampling blitz. Nathan and I will, or our team will go on a full team sampling blitz, and we'll run contests with it. And it's so much fun. It gets us in front of so many new people. You feel so great about yourself because you're giving. You're getting these amazing oils that you love into so many people's hands. And there's so much fruit to it, because instead of just trickling samples here and there, you're actually being really intentional to get a bunch of them in front of people all at the same time. And it's very powerful, because then now you have 50 people that you get to follow up with, and 50 people hopefully who have a positive experience, and they will have a positive experience, because remember, you're going to sample them till they get a positive experience, and then you're going to invite them to a class, and it's just uphill from there. It's amazing. It's an amazing experience, and again, so simple in how we do this business. And if you'll stick with the simple, you'll stick with this flow and how it goes from sampling to the invite to the class into a business conversation, you really will be able to bring on new customers and new wellness advocates. I want you to go try this and let us know how it's working for you. Make sure you ask any questions. Feel free to contact us and let us know if you have any questions about this.